It's just deeply profound as like where this poem takes us and can really resonate and guide us truly. Like this is a roadmap to the divine. It's like, how are you living? How are you showing up in the world? Kabir was a beautiful poet. I've only recently got back into poetry and started reading more poetry, and I'd like to share a little bit about this poem and then share some reflections on it and how it can help us guide us. It can help us keep us going no matter what path we are on, as long as I would say our goal is to go back to the divine source, back to God, whatever word, creator, spirit, whatever word you use. As long as you see that as where you're headed, I believe that there's value in this poem that can help guide you. You don't necessarily need to have any scriptural knowledge in this case. You can just go based off these type of poems. I'll start by reading the poem. Friend, hope for the guest while you are alive. Jump into experience while you are alive. Think and think while you are alive. What you call salvation belongs to the time before death. If you don't break your ropes while you're alive, do you think ghosts will do it after? The idea that the soul will join with the ecstatic just because the body is rotten, that is all fantasy. What is found now is found then. If you find nothing now, you will simply end up with an apartment in the city of death. If you make love with the divine now, in the next life, you will have the face of satisfied desire. So my first thought on this is the salvation line, in that salvation belongs to the time before death. And if we don't have it before we die, then how are we to get it when we die? So I love that ponder of the salvation is here. Sorry, salvation belongs to the time before death. That just, it like opens me right up. It's like, oh, if I don't do something now, then what can I expect? And the next part that I really liked is that he goes into what is found now is found then. And I feel that this is profound because it's about creating it while we're here. So again, just like the salvation belongs in this time, also it's like what is found now is found then. So if we don't create that beautiful divine relationship with God or the divine source, or are just remembering who we are, that divine connection that we all have, then what do we expect? What are we going to find when we drop the body? When the body is rotten, as he says, we're only going to find the same. It's funny, my guru, he shares a lot of like doing it now. It's like, you came in this life, don't waste your life. Build your relationship while you are alive, because if you don't create heaven on earth, then you won't have it when you exit. So again, it's about building that relationship. And then of course, then Kabir goes into, if you find nothing now, you will simply end up with an apartment in the city of death. So it's like, if we don't do that work, if we don't build that relationship, then we're just going to be like we are now. It's like just about your daily life is just going to be in the city of the afterlife. So again, it's just deeply profound as like where this poem takes us and can really resonate and guide us truly. Like this is a roadmap to the divine. It's like, how are you living? How are you showing up in the world? What are you creating? How are you being when you're in a lineup? Are you yelling at people? Or are you like showing love and, connection and helping people and going out of your way and not so worried about the I, me, and mine so much as like, how do I serve? How do I give back? That is the magic, is the creating that. It was like, what is your vision even of like heaven on earth, or whatever you believe the divine is? Like, where do you want to go? Because there's also the profoundness of that, is like, there's talk in some of the scriptures of like, if you worship the devas, you will go to the devas. If you worship the ancestors, you will go to the ancestors. So like, who are you divinely connecting yourself with? Because that's likely where you're going to end up, depending how you live your life, of course. You could just end up with an apartment in the city of death, as is written here. My partner and I went to a medium once. She's actually a friend of ours, and she shared, like, do you think the people that have passed are different? Like, all of a sudden they've magically changed into some other being? And it's like, what do you mean by that? And she's like, well, you know, she's sharing information with us as we're going through this process about some of the people. And it's like, man, that sounds exactly like how he was while he was here. And she's like, yeah, that's what she was getting at. So she's like, do you think they would just change magically because they've dropped the body now? And it seems like even mediums have some sort of tapped inness to be with the spirits, to see how they're behaving, and to see that, like, obviously through us, when we go to see a medium, they can share reflections, and likely they're similar to how they were here. There may be more messages of love or whatever, of things maybe they wish they did while they were here. It's hard to say, but they're still similar. It's not like there's all of a sudden this huge expansion and they're like now one with God or one with creation and all source and have all the wisdom to share with us, you know. So again, it's like, if you're on the spiritual path, I believe these poems of like Kabir and Mirbai and a bunch of those type of people, the devotional type poetry, which is what resonates with me right now, can be a beautiful tool to help guide us. It's easy to read, you know, it's fairly easy to digest. You just ponder with it for a while, you know, sit with it. Even just taking a line, like, man, the line of like, what is found now is found then. Like, just even pondering that simple, what is found now is found then. What does that mean? What does that look like? Oh, and then what do I want to create? What do I want to bring into my life, into the next life, into whatever, wherever we're going? Because I don't know that personally. Anyways, I feel like these tools are beautiful tools to use on our path. Obviously, if we're in deep grief or even in profound love, like when you first meet a new partner, there's magic in that. And how do we even use those moments? Because we know how relationships goes, where it's like you'll feel this profound love and then it'll actually start to dwindle as the relationship goes on. And that will be like, what happened? Where did it go? You know, like, so how do you even use that love that you're feeling to know that that is your true state? To now reconnect with your divine essence, your divine truth, because that's what that love is. That's where it comes from. We just get a glimpse of it. And then often we trample it down with our daily lives and all the bureaucracy of our minds that now puts a filter on our partners, puts a filter on life, and it dampens the beauty and the magic that is truly here. So anyway, I'm curious what you guys have to say, and I'd love to hear down in the comments how you feel about this poem. Did you get anything from it? Do you feel like this could be a valuable tool for you? And I'd love for you guys to like and subscribe if you don't mind. That would be really great to help me grow the channel and keep sharing these lovely poems and poetry and wisdom, and how do we bring it into our new world? How do we use these poems? So how are we showing up in the world now with these beautiful messages.